By the way, what's your take on Kaepernick? I mean, I guess he can insult America, and we're free to insult him.
Yeah, look, to me, he's a third-string quarterback, and I don't really think much about Kaepernick. I mean, if I'll be a little more intrigued by the story if he was still that star player, would there be this kind of outcry? I mean, the people are burning his jerseys. These are the same people that rooted for him a couple of years ago, and because he stinks,
you know what this guy is? He's a spoiled brat, out of touch, super rich athlete. He in his own life has suffered no oppression. He's free to share all the money that he wants. He lives in the greatest nation on earth. You know, this is a nation that has overcome slavery, overcome evil and injustice, righted wrongs. You know, the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, all these people that marched with Martin Luther King Jr. and made the country a better place. This country fought a civil war in part over slavery. You know, so this is a country that beat back fascism, Nazism, Imperial Japan, and communism, but he sees no good in it. It's like Michelle Obama's comment, for the first time in my adult life, I'm proud of my country because my husband is going to be elected president.
Somebody who's made over $100 million to talk about being oppressed. I'll give him.
Kaepernick. No, that's not the society he lives in. He lives in a place that should be praised for overcoming its wrongs and injustices and having the freedom for its people to rise up for the better and change the country because of a system put in place by our framers and our founders. But that doesn't fit his little, socially fashionable and relevant and melodramatic pretense that he has out there. His version of, I guess, the March on Selma, $128 million March on Selma.
Look, if he wants to bring attention to racial inequality, fine. I have no problem with that.
He's a pampered bench warmer.
Yeah. I get what you're saying and all that. But if you're going to make that kind of money and talk about racial inequality, do something with that $100 million.
And by the way, this guy?
Sit for a national anthem.
He acts like he's standing up for Black Lives Matter. There was one, I don't know, I've never been able to confirm this. I looked earlier today that he might have converted to Islam in the offseason. Did you see that?
That I don't know.
All right, this is in the. I don't even know what this is. Sundance? Who gave me this article today? I don't even know where I got it. Anyway, it said during the offseason he may have converted to Islam, and he's also engaged with Black Lives Matter, and I guess hip hop radio personality DJ Nessa Diab. Who's that? I never heard of these people. How long have I been in the radio business? I never even heard of them. Anyway, Black Lives Matter as an activist group is synonymous with what? It's synonymous with, what do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them now? F the police. Pigs in a blanket. Fry them like bacon. So he's barely disguising. What is that? He's part of an anti-police organization, and the 49ers want this guy sitting on his bench, on their bench? No way. So if he really wants to take a stand, maybe he can go to Chicago, and maybe he can demonstrate a little bit of courage and social conscience and do some good and maybe stand up for cops and do something that Obama hasn't done and stand up for his own home city of Chicago. What, 9 dead this weekend, another 40 injured this weekend, shot this weekend? That's on top of the 3,500 dead that nobody knows any of their names to? So he's trashing America by not only refusing to stand for the anthem, but sending out his tweets that there's no difference between the American flag and the Confederate flag, which is ignorant on top of everything else, and he obviously despises a country that gave him a $128 million contract, and, for crying out loud. I don't know. What did it say? I guess he's seen the kindness of human beings.
No, he converted to Islam in July. He's engaged to Nessa Diab, who is a Black Lives Matter activist and who promotes what she calls authentic Islam. So
listen, I have a memo to Colin Kaepernick.
She wants a traditional Muslim wedding, so he's got to be Muslim.
If he thinks trashing America is a way to advance the cause of justice, he's out of his mind. And he obviously is ignorant. Maybe he can look at countries that practice Islam as new religion, and maybe somebody can ask him if he thinks there's social justice for women. Or what does he think about Muslim countries that kill gays and lesbians? Or what does he think about Muslim countries that don't allow freedom of religion and are bigoted against Christians and Jews? or anti-Semitism that is rampant in many Muslim countries? Maybe somebody will ask him that question in the next big post-game sit on the sideline, sit on your hands with your clipboard, calling Kaepernick. Unbelievable. He understands nothing. He's drowning in ignorance and political correctness and venting, I guess, his own little monsters to fight here and adopting a religion that has under practice many countries that are bigoted, mistreat women, gays, lesbians, Christians, and Jews. Maybe he's just ignorant. Maybe he just doesn't know.